Hey, what's up guys? It is Rob from Movie Review Time, and I am back with another video. Before I start, I just want to say, if you guys are wondering where the fake trailer video is, I deleted it because I don't think people understood what it was I was trying to do. I don't think they understood, like, you know, the things that I would put in the video and me reacting to it as a character. I don't think they understood that. So I ended up deleting it because why continue on with it if no one's really going to understand it? So everyone has their own opinions, and that's fine. That is totally fine. But I just don't think they really got the point. So I just decided to just forget that stuff. Anyway, today is going to be a movie review of a movie that I found interesting, and it's a movie that I didn't get to see in the theater, and it's been like that. It seems like this year alone there are movies that I just did not get a chance to see. I mean, I haven't even seen Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom. I haven't even seen that. I haven't even seen Ant-Man and the Wasp. There are a lot of movies that I have not seen yet. You know, I didn't get to see A Quiet Place, and I've already reviewed that. Definitely check it out on my channel. But that's another one that I was late to watching. And this is another one. Annihilation. Now, I had picked this up, if you haven't seen my Goodwill pickups video, I picked this up at Goodwill. I couldn't believe I actually found this there. It's the Blu-ray, DVD, and digital. But it's from the director of Ex Machina. I believe it's Garland. What's his name? Garland. Alex Garland. And I liked Ex Machina. You know, Oscar Isaac. This has Natalie Portman, and I'm a fan of Natalie Portman when she's in the right roles. I mean, I liked Black Swan. I didn't mind her in the Star Wars prequels. They're just, you know, I think I didn't mind her in the third movie, and in Phantom Menace she was okay, but the second movie, it was just way too lovey-dovey for me, like forced love lines that they would say, and just, it was just ridiculous. Like, you know, Natalie Portman as an actress, she is good when she's committing to the right roles. This movie, I really liked her performance, and not just her. Everybody. Jennifer Jason Leigh's in this. Oscar Isaac, of course. Tessa Thompson from Creed, and she was also in Thor Ragnarok. She blew me away. I really love. I mean, she was so different in this. She seemed like a quiet, nerdy geek kind of a person, and you know, she would hardly talk, but she was very smart. She wore glasses, and like, she just seemed, I don't know, she just seems so different than what you're used to seeing her play as. But she did a great job in Creed. She did a great job in Thor Ragnarok. She was funny in that movie. But Annihilation, it just, by the trailer, it intrigued me because it's like a science fiction psychological film. It kind of messes with your head a little bit. It's like psychological horror, even though this says a sci-fi thriller. There are a lot of horror elements in the film. But basically, you have a group of military scientists who go into this place called the Shimmer. And what it is, you know, this thing crashes into this lighthouse, okay? This thing from outer space comes down almost like it almost looks like a comet in a way, but it's not. This thing comes down, it hits this lighthouse, and it starts to form around the lighthouse. Now, it's like this shimmer. It almost looks like all these different colors, like an invisible wall, or like this translucent wall that starts to just expand and form, and the center of it is the lighthouse, because that's where it crashed. But the military scientists are calling it the Shimmer, and you know, whoever ventures into the Shimmer basically does not come back. So it's almost like a one-way trip. Natalie Portman and Oscar Isaac are together in this movie. Oscar Isaac was reported dead, or MIA. All of a sudden he shows up at her house, and he's very different. They do flashback scenes of Oscar Isaac and Natalie Portman, and he does not seem the same at all. He just shows up and he's just very quiet and different. All of a sudden he goes into like cardiac arrest. And these scientists are like trying to figure out what's wrong with him. And they come up with this theory that he was actually one of these expeditions that ventured into the Shimmer to find out what was going on. And he actually made it back. And because he made it back, his body is not reacting right, being outside of the Shimmer. See, once you go in there, molecules and everything starts, like DNA, everything starts to change and mutate. For instance, creatures can mutate with other creatures. Plants can mutate with other plants. Plants can mutate with humans. Things start it's almost like a different world of creation. Like creation is starting inside this what they call Shimmer, but I mean inside this dome. It just seems like things are being created. It's like another it's like someone's playing God and basically switching things up. So Natalie Portman and a group of scientists venture into the Shimmer to find answers, led by Jennifer Jason Leigh. And I'm a huge fan of her. I loved her in Hateful Eight, loved her in Single White Female, and so on. The Hitcher, even though she shows up kind of like in the middle of that movie. But still, she basically leads this campaign into the Shimmer, and Natalie Portman wants to find answers more than anybody. And while they go into the Shimmer, like, they start to see weird things and see weird animals, and this one bear-looking animal that's kind of mutated with something else kind of attacks them, and just these different things, like an alligator crossed with something else, like these creatures are not the regular creatures you and I come to know, like a bear or an alligator. They're just mutated with something else, which makes them stronger, heightens their senses, and then makes them look different too. There are some freaky parts in this movie, especially with like the scene with the bear thing. The way it growls, it kind of like cries or something, like it's very creepy. There is some gore in this. There's one scene that it really, whenever they do this kind of stuff, if they can do it right, it just looks like it hurts, and I have to kind of look away. I'm like, oh my god. If it's done right, there's a scene where Oscar Isaac takes a knife and he's cutting one of his friends open. It's on camera. Sticks a knife in this guy, like in his abdomen, and starts to cut this huge hole, and there's this thing moving inside of him. It just looked realistic to me. And when the thing started to move, you could tell it was like maybe a little bit of CGI, but when he was cutting, it just looked so real. It looked so real when he was actually cutting him. But things like that, just subtle things like that, just really, ugh. But anyway, they go in there, they start to encounter weird things and start to come up with theories about what's going on. She makes it to the lighthouses, which is what they're trying to do. On the way, people start dropping one by one. And the movie goes deeper. I mean, it goes deeper than what... I wasn't even thinking. I wasn't even on the right track of what they ended up doing in this movie. I mean, the whole like cloning thing, or like you know, taking DNA and mutating it, and you know, that's just the tip of the iceberg. What they actually find in this lighthouse and what actually happens. This movie kind of left me with more questions than answers. Like, the ending was just sort of, I don't know, I want to say like underwhelming in a way. I didn't really feel like I got any closure from it, or really any answers. It kind of leaves you hanging, but at the same time, people are coming up with theories about, oh, well, this happened, so this has to be the reason why, and that happened, and that has to be how it, you know, no one really knows 100% for sure. That's how they leave this ending. So you're just sitting there kind of coming up with your own thing, you know, and who knows if it's 100% right. It's just basically a theory. But that's not to say that I didn't like the ending. I mean, I liked it. It just kind of caught me off guard and just didn't really answer enough questions for me. But a lot of movies do that, and I guess they want you to try to figure it out yourself or come up with your own ideas, I guess. Whatever. All in all, I think the acting was great. Like I said, each person did, you know, they in their roles, they did a great job with their performances. Visually, it's a pretty stunning film. The shimmer, of course, is CGI, and there are some times where it looks so fake. Maybe that gets a pass because it's this outer world object creating all this colorful stuff, and like things are just forming. You know, maybe it gets a pass on that because of that fact, but it's still there. Like when plants are growing and things like that and moving, you can tell it's CGI. I'm not saying it's bad. It's just, it's noticeable, but you know, it's not terrible. To where you're just watching the movie and like, oh my god, that sucks, man. I'm not watching this. This is just terrible. This is a terrible movie. It's not like that at all. A lot of the shots are like slow moving shots. Really, really nice cinematography. I really like it. The music I like. But yeah, overall, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the movie. It is rated R. And I believe it says for violence, bloody images, language, and some sexuality. There is a couple scenes of sex with Natalie Portman. She's riding some dude. There's some kind of, you get kind of a backstory as the movie goes on. It's all done with flashbacks. There's a flashback with her and this guy. You know, she's cheating on Oscar Isaac, pretty much. You know, Oscar Isaac's always away doing his missions and stuff like that, and he just up and leaves one day going on this mission, not really saying anything to Natalie Portman. He just goes, and I think he knew that she was cheating. You know, there's some backstory drama that they talk about in the movie, so the characters do get fleshed out a little bit. Some of the other ones, not so much. Some of the other characters in the group, but that's fine, you know. It says right here for special features, you got story origins for those that follow casting Annihilation, shimmer, shooting on location, probably the lighthouse, I'm assuming, the visual effects and special effects called Vanished into Havoc. Some pretty cool special features, but yeah, I really enjoyed this movie. I gave A Quiet Place a 9.5 out of 10. If I were to rate this one, I would definitely give this movie an 8.5, 8.5 out of 10, for sure. I can't really decide what I like better, if I like this movie or if I like Arrival. I liked Arrival a lot. I really did. that has some of the visually. Arrival is amazing looking. It's just, it looks so good. I've seen it on 4K, and it looks. If you have a big screen TV, when that ship is sitting there hovering a little bit above the ground, it looks awesome. It just looks amazing. But I mean, this is Blu-ray, but this looks amazing too. It really does. So I would say if you haven't seen this, definitely rent it, or you know, maybe see it before you buy it, because I don't know if this is going to be everybody's cup of tea. It is psychological. Maybe not a lot of people like those type of films where it kind of makes you think a little bit. But I do like them. If they're done right, and if they get my interest, there you go. So, Annihilation. That's my review. Like I said, definitely check it out. Definitely give it a watch. Yeah, so thank you for watching this review. I'll be back with more movie reviews, more list videos. I do read your comments, and yes, I will be doing a lot of, we'll get into a lot of the series videos and stuff. I know one of you mentioned that you wanted me to do or talk about the Wrong Turn series. That is a series that I do plan on doing, that I do want to review each movie individually, and I will. I also do want to talk about the Saw films, even though I don't like most of them. That is a series that I have not done yet. So, I haven't even reviewed any of those. Like, as much as I've been on YouTube, I've never done it. So that'd be a series I'd be willing to do. I also have a lot of individual reviews that I'm going to be doing of older movies, some new releases, you know, like Doppelganger, some Stephen King films, some remakes that I'm going to be, horror remakes that I'm going to be reviewing. There's a lot coming up, so I don't think you'll be disappointed. I thank you very much for subscribing, for sticking with me, and for the nice comments you leave, and you know, just watching my videos in general. I really appreciate it. So yeah, definitely check out Annihilation, and I'll see you guys in the next one.